Hello everyone, I welcome you all to our channel Let's Learn Automation. In a previous session, we have seen why we use public static void main and why we need to use this format. If we haven't used this format, then what happened? In this session, we are going to see the keyword and identifier. Whenever we are going to create any package, so like here, I'm right click I will right click on this source folder, then create new and package. And here, if I give any name like which start from 1, so it gives that invalid package name. 1 is not a valid Java identifier. That is what the identifier means. Whenever we are assigning any name to package, class, method, variable, so that is called as a identifier. And we need to use or we need to follow some specific rule for that package name or class name or method name by which we are able to create or we are able to use that particular thing. So here we are not able to use one at the start of the package name. Even we cannot use the special symbol. Even we cannot use the dot like this. Okay, but we can start package 4. It says that discourage package name. It doesn't matter but because it is only warning. But usually in a company, uh, they are using like package name like com. That is the company name. We can say that com dot then the project name. For example, if we have the project name like retail, so retail is the project name and the environment. So what is retail, what is an environment, we'll try to understand it later, but this is the naming convention that is used for the package. So com means company name, then retail is a project name, and after it there may be a QA environment or there may be a staging environment, so that can be used. Even dev may be used the dev environment. So we'll go in a normal way or in a basic way. So for example, here I will create another package like package 4. So this is what the identifier. Okay, let's finish it. Now in this package 4, I will create another class and will give the name like, if I try to give the name like starting from 1, then again it gives the error like type name is not valid. The type name 1 is not a valid identifier. Again, in the name of class, we got the issue that we cannot use 1 as a identifier, or we cannot use the name of the class starting from 1. Even at the rate symbol we cannot use. So this is the identifier. Now if I give the name like demo, and here I created the class. Now this identifier is applicable to package, or we can say that identifier name, we can say this is applicable to package, then class, then method, then variable, etc. So whenever we are going to create the package, class, method and variable, that is called as an identifier, and we need to use the specific rule to create that identifier, or to create the package, to create the class, method or variable. So here we will take the example of variable, and we'll see which rule we need to follow while creating the name of the variable, so that the same rule be applicable for method, class and package, because all are called as a identifier. Int, for example, I take the variable like num. So we can start any variable from the character. There is no problem. Even I can give like this. Okay. So we can use the number after character. Even we can use the number even in the middle of the character. Then there is no problem. There is no issue or no error is occurred. But if try to use the identifier here, then there is a red symbol and it says that syntax error token, delete this token. So we are not able to use this. Even we cannot use at the rate, but we can use the underscore. Okay, and also we can use the dollar symbol. So these are the rules of identifier. Let's try to see what are the rules of for identifier. Rules of identifier in Java. Okay. So let's take this one. Okay, so these are the rules. You copy this. Now, the name can contain letter, digit, underscore, and dollar sign. So the name of the variable, for example, or identifier can take letter, digit, underscore, and dollar sign. So only two special character are allowed, like underscore and dollar. Okay, but here I cannot use the at the rate. Here I cannot use ampersand. It will directly throw the error. Then name must begin with a letter. Name must begin with the letter. So the letter, like we can say that NUM. Then name should start with the lowercase letter and it cannot contain white space. So the name should start with the lowercase letter. It is not compulsory, but we can also use the uppercase letter, no problem. But cannot contain the white space means there is no space is allowed, like num11. That is not allowed. It will throw the error. That should be a single entity. Then name and also begin with dollar and underscore. So we can use dollar. Okay, even we can use underscore at the start of the name. So that is allowed. Name are case sensitive. Okay, so this is called as a case sensitive. Case sensitive means what? Like whatever the name of the variable we have declare over here, we need to use the same thing in the program if we are going to use the same kind of variable. So for example, if I'm using num equal to 10 and here I am using in a statement or printing the value of num equal to plus num. So this whatever the case I am using over here, that case should be identical to here too. If I try to change like here capital N, then it will throw the error and it says create a constant because this particular thing is not available. Small num is available over here and declared over here. So that's why we can use this. We cannot use the capital N. So that's why it says that names are case sensitive. Then reserved word cannot be used as a names. So we cannot use the reserved word. Reserved word means we cannot use the public. So for example, if I try to use the public, then that is not allowed because these are the reserved word or the keyword. We cannot use the keyword or reserved word as a name of the identifier or name of the variable. But we can use public one, no issue, but we should not use it because it will confuse us too. So better to skip all those reserved word. So we should not use all those reserved word in the name of the identifier. Now there can be a question like which are the total reserved word we have. So whenever we are using anything and it comes into the brown color, so that is called a reserved word. We already know that, but still there are some list of the reserved word like. So this is the list of the reserved word. Let's copy this. So this is the list of the reserved word we should not use as a name of the identifier. If we try to use any word in a program, so it will show in a brown color because it's a keyword of the reserved word. So we should skip all these words. Also, there are three more reserved word. So these are the words. So let's copy this and we'll try to understand this too. So what is mean by reserved word? So reserved word having the specific meaning. So like it is used for the for loop, it is used for the creation of new thing, then it is used for the if statement or control statement like this. So it having the specialized meaning, so we should not use this. Then also we have uh, this one, comment this too. So true, false, and null are the three more keyword, but these are called as a literal because it having some value. Like true means 1, false means 0, nulls mean nothing. So you cannot use them as identifier in your program. So we cannot use this and these three as a identifier in our program for package name, class name, method name, and variable name, and etc. So we should skip all those things. And these are the keyword who have the special meaning whenever we are going to use, like void is a return type. Then we have already seen the like integer, then float, double. So these are the reserved word. These having the specialized meaning, uh, like data type, like they are used for the control statement or many more things. In the same way, true, false, these are the boolean values, that is 1 and 0, and null mean nothing. So we are, these are not reserved, but these are called as a literals. Literals means which specify some values and it specify some meaning. So that is what the reserved and literal we should not use as a identifier. And now let's understand the naming con convention. As a standard, whenever we create the package, so at that time, the package name in a company, we use the package name like com, the name of the project, and then the environment, for example q environment. So this is the name, but for now we can use anything like package 1, or if if we are going to see the program on control statement, so we can use the control statement. So in this case what we are going to see, like we are starting from capital C, and whenever a new word arrives, so at that time we also use the capital letter. So this naming convention we need to use again, and this will be used in a project. For now it's not required. Then we have the class. So even class name we need to start from capital letter. So for example, if I am going to create a class like print employee details, so we need to write down like this, like we'll start from P, capital. The first letter is capital and rest of the are the small letter. Whenever a new word arrive at that time, that should also capital, and at up to the end, that all the letter of that word is small. And again, whenever new word arrive, that word start from the capital. So we can easily understand, or we are able to read this properly, like print employee details, because we cannot give space. If space is given, then that is not allowed, it throw the error. So that's why we should use the naming convention like this for class, for package. And whenever there is a case like method and variable, V-A-R-I-E, variable, so at that time we need to use the different naming convention, like we need to print, or we need to create the variable for age of employee. So we can write down like age of employee, means we need to we can start from the small case, and whenever new word arrive, the new letter is to start, should be start from the capital, or like this, salary of employee. So first letter start from lowercase, then whenever new word arrive, first letter start from capital. Whenever again new word arrive, first letter start from capital. So this is the naming convention we need to use for a method and variable. Different naming convention is for class, because here the change is like the first letter capital start from capital letter, here start from the small letter. Rest of the things are same, and the same thing we can follow for the package too, until we have not started the project. So these are the naming convention we need to use, because these convention are used in a company as a standard. So that's why we should have the practice of that. So again, for package we can use like the first letter is for capital, then whenever new letter arrive, first letter is capital again, rest of the letter are small. The same can be applied for the class, and for method and variable, first letter should be small, the new letter capital, rest of the letter are small, then again a new letter or the first letter capital and rest of the letter are small. In this way we need to follow the naming convention. So this is all about the identifier. These are the identifier, we need to follow the rules, and keyword, these are the keyword and the literal. So thank you.